Hey guys, it's Ariel and welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning into today's video. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you're not, please make sure you are subscribed. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing an updated makeup routine. I guess you could call this my fall makeup routine. It's been a while since I've done a makeup tutorial because I've just been so busy with doing hair content. But I think it's about time that I finally film a makeup video, update you guys on the current products that I'm using. So I have a little bit of tips and tricks I want to show you guys to get that nice contoured look. And I also want to show you guys how I get my makeup to last all day long, okay? So I'm actually stepping out tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this video. But first off, I just want to say thank you for all the support that I've gotten on my vlogs lately. It is new content that I am integrating into my channel, and I appreciate those of you who have taken the time to just watch and see a little bit more about my personal life and who I am behind the hair videos, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into our makeup tutorial. Alright, so first I prime my face, and I'll be using Purilesse Silk Glow BB Base Primer. So I've been using this primer for a while now, and I really like the way that it like mattes out my skin, and it almost serves as like a, I don't know, it kind of has like a rubber element to it, so it like stops the makeup in place. It doesn't like allow the makeup to run all over your face. It kind of just makes it stick, you know, like a primer's supposed to. So Mercury retrograde recently ended, and you know, if you're into that type of thing, everyone kept saying how rough it was and how, you know, Mercury retrograde this and Mercury retrograde that. And I just want to say, luckily Mercury retrograde did not do a number on me. But I will say that the one that happened in June, that retrograde, baby, that retrograde was absolutely horrible. But luckily, Mercury retrograde dodged a bullet. If anything, I can say I felt a little bit off in my emotions. Like, I just did not feel like my usual confident, outgoing self. And, you know, I just didn't have as much confidence as I usually do. So I could say that, you know, Mercury retrograde did sort of affect me. But, yeah, for the most part, retrograde went pretty smooth, okay? So I'm going to be taking Fenty Beauty's setting powder, and this is the color Honey. And you know what? I really like this setting powder, but I absolutely hate the packaging. It's extremely hard to screw the lid off and on, and honestly, I've had to even throw it on the floor so that the lid could pop off because it's gotten stuck midway and jammed, and like, y'all, I have struggled so much. Honestly, that's why my jar looks so beat up, because I've had to literally throw this across the room to get the jar to open up, and like, it's honestly just ridiculous. And I'm not the only one who's experienced this problem. I even did like a poll on Instagram, and people were like, oh my gosh, yes, the jar is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever created. So alright, so I get smile lines in my makeup, so I just put a little bit of setting powder right there and blot out my smile lines. And then I also get oily right around the nose area, so I like to put setting powder there as well. And then, so any forehead oil, I just blotted that, and then also my chin as well. So I got the T-zone, and then I also got the spots that I know are oily on myself. So I'm going to be using Fenty Beauty's Pro Filter Foundation, and this is in the color 440. So I want to touch on a topic trend that I have noticed. in the natural hair community. And the trend is that a lot of natural hair influencers have been disappearing off of Instagram. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I sure have. And the reason being, well, the reason that I think it is because, you know, being so social all the time and being on social media, you honestly can forget to live your real life because you're always just living life to post on the socials. So you're literally living for social media. You're living for likes. And so sometimes you have to remember to exit out of that world because it's literally like an online universe. And you have to exit out of that and remember that real life is enjoyable, you know. There's so much joy in living your real life, not for the cameras and not for a next photo op or a next Instagram opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And so I think even just with like mental health being a really big theme, I think a lot of people are just sort of, you know, separating the socials from the social media personality from the real life person. People are getting back to who they really are off camera. And so I've noticed that a few natural hair influencers have sort of just disappeared, just gotten back to life. They sort of just disappeared, had downtime away from social media, because it is really good to take a break and remind yourself that, you know, it's fun to live real life too. You know what I'm saying? I hung out with friends the other day and I brought all my cameras, my equipment, my tripod, like literally brought everything. And I low-key felt a little bit uncomfortable because, you know, I felt like I wasn't being present and enjoying the moment with them. I felt like I was like, I don't know. I felt like I was, you know, just using it as a Instagram opportunity rather than enjoying the moment. I was switching between cameras, you know, putting my tripod high, low, up, down, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not really just sitting and enjoying the people who came all the way to hang out with me, you know? So sometimes you have to like take those breaks and remember the people around you. And of course, you know, if this is your job, like the people around you are going to understand. So I don't think they mind. But still, I felt a little bit just like uncomfortable because, you know, I don't want them to think that like I just set this up just so that I could, you know, create content for my Instagram. Like I genuinely wanted to hang out with them, missed my people, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Alright, so this has to set into my face. It looks a little bit orange, but I promise y'all this is my color. It's just because I have these big like studio lights in front of me, so it's making the color look a little bit more orange than it usually does, because I usually do my makeup in my bathroom, so I'm having to adjust. But yeah, next I'll be using my Juvia's Place concealer, and this is the color 12. Alright, so I just let this sit for a little bit. I learned that from Jackie Aina, but yeah, I like to let my concealer sit for a second. So this allows your concealer to just stay in place longer and stay stuck to your skin when the formula dries up a bit. I always put a layer of concealer that I leave to dry, and then once I blend that out, I put on a wet layer and just immediately blend that out. That way I have both. That way I have 2 layers of concealer and I get that nice bright look under the eye. So then I always try to find the cleanest part of my beauty blender to blend out my nose. That way, you know, the nose contour stays as sharp as possible. So I'm going to do my nose contour next before I put on my powder. And I'm going to be using this Colourpop palette. I actually use an eyeshadow for this. So yeah, I use a nice brown powder for my nose contour. I don't like to use liquid because I don't know. I think the brown powder gives me just enough, and then I blend it out with an eyeshadow brush, okay? So it gives me that nice shadowy contour look. So you don't want to use too much, but I kind of already did a little bit, but I just take it and I go along the outside of my bridge and then blend it out. I just take my beauty blender and I just dot my nose a bit just to blend out my concealer and my contour that I just did. Now I'm going to go in with my Fenty Beauty powder and I'm going to set my concealer. So I go all the way from the corner of my cheek. And I also use this to contour my nose as well. So I go just below where I put my contour line. Alright, so now I'm going to contour my face, and I do use liquid to contour my face. So I use powder for my nose, but I do use liquid for my face. Okay, so I use Maybelline which one is this? 375 Java, which is the darker color, and I use that to contour the outside of my face and get my cheeks nice and snatched. Okay, so I just take a little bit there. Then I use a blending brush to blend it out. And I absolutely love this makeup routine because I really feel like my face is so nice and toasted and warmed. And I don't know, the makeup, I just love a nice soft glam and a really good blend out. So even though I highlight a lot, I make sure to bring the color back into my face. And then I contour my cheeks. And I come right around, just follow the pathway you've built. So the second reason I think that a lot of natural hair influencers, and just like, you know, some of your favorite lifestyle, makeup, just your beauty influencers in general have been sort of disappearing off the socials because Instagram has limited us so much, and we put so much work into creating this content for you guys. So when we're putting in so much work and Instagram only shows it to what, 6% of your audience, you feel like you're working so hard for what? What is the reason? If no one is going to see this, if only a few hundred people out of the thousands of followers that I have are going to see this, then really what is the point? Why am I working so hard? It really takes hours to create this content, to do makeup, to edit, to post, write up captions. Like people think you just hop on camera and then you just post on YouTube. It's so much deeper than that, and it's just a lot. There's so many different formats, from Instagram to just sizing your videos, and then there's TikTok, Pinterest, and Facebook, and there's a lot, you guys. There's a lot that goes into it. So yeah, a lot of people are just feeling like they aren't valued and, like, you know, almost cheated, because these people tune in, these people literally choose to follow us, and Instagram's not showing, you know, our content to our people. So it really can be disheartening, and it can cause a lot of stress, especially when brands see that your content isn't having as much engagement, or people aren't really liking your posts like they used to. You know, people kind of think that you fell off, you know what I'm saying? So it just kind of sucks. But we're having to adjust and just really know our worth now, and just try to adjust and hang in there. Alright, so next we're going to bronze the face. I'm going to use the same color that I used on my nose to contour my nose, to bronze my face as well. And I make sure I do this before my brows, that way my brows do not get messed up. So I just dot a little bit and bronze away. So a little bit goes a long way. You do not want to do too much with the bronzer. And this is definitely more of a soft glam look. Alright, so I'm going to take a little powder brush and dust away some of the powder, because it does like to stick and overstay its welcome sometimes. Alright, so y'all can see how my foundation has evened out and is now basically the same as the rest of my skin. Alright, so now that most of the face makeup is done, we're going to go ahead and do the eyebrows. And I love to do my eyebrows really light. I really don't like to do too much. I'm very much a natural brow type of gal. Right, so you can see, even just by me brushing them, my eyebrows are already like sort of defined, so I don't need to do too much. Luckily, I don't need to. Alright, so we got the brows squared away. Now I'm going to do just a little bit of blush. So for the brows, I actually use two different tools. So I like the brush on this, what is this called? IZMC New York Shape and Fill Brow Pencil. I like the brush on this, but I love the Maybelline Brow Define and Fill Duo. Okay, so these are my two combos for doing brows. Alright, so for the blush, I'm going to be using Milk Makeup. So this is the color Werk, and it is for your lips and your cheeks. Alright, so the face is completely done. Now we're going to move to the eyes. So I'm going to do a really easy eyeshadow look. This is my everyday eyeshadow look, and I probably have done this look on camera before. I would not be surprised if I have. But first, what I'm going to do, so I'm going to set my face and spray it with this One Hit Prime Set and Refresh Dewy Finish Face Mist by Item Beauty. Alright, so now that the face is done, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes. So I'll just be doing a simple brown eye, just a little darker smoky eye, not black but brown smoky eye. Alright, eyeshadow is done, and the eyeshadow came from my Bare Necessities palette from Colourpop. Next, I'll be using this highlighter from Colourpop. It's from their Disney Villains collection, and this is the color Cruella. And I absolutely love this color. I think it works so well for black skin. And I put this right into the corner of my eye. Alright, next I'm going to be using Gerard Cosmetics Eternal Eyeliner. And I put a super thin line above my lashes. So next I'm going to do my lips. So I'm going to take that same brown color that I had and I'm going to outline my lips. Alright, and so I just filled in my lips with the color Daydream by Colourpop, and it is a matte color. Then I go back in with my liner. Alright, so the very last step, of course, is lashes. Okay, you cannot go nowhere without at least a mascara, okay? That was very country, with at least a mascara. Alright, so I personally hate clumpy mascara. It's just not a good look. So after I apply my mascara, I then go in with a spoolie. This is what I use when I have lash extensions, but I use this to just further separate my lashes, alright? So I'll be using two different mascaras. I'll be using Eyeko London Rock Out and Lash Out Mascara. And then I'll also be using Anastasia Beverly Hills. And is this a special Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara, okay? Alright, so here is my final makeup look. I am ready to step out. And it came together so good. I really love a nice like dark rosy lip for the winter time. Whereas I like a lighter pink rosy for the summer. So yeah, I'm liking the transition shade. you know, long sleeve season, nice toasted face makeup, and then a nice lip to tie it all in, and a pop of the eyes. So yeah, this is my go-to makeup look. It's not super glamorous, and I absolutely love it for my everyday makeup. So I hope you guys love this makeup look and that you enjoyed this tutorial. It can go with so many of your winter looks, so definitely give it a try. I highly recommend digging into the lip shades, because the lip is just what ties in the look. Like, I used to be a gloss girl, but now I'm definitely a matte lip shorty, okay? So once again, thank you guys for tuning into this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Bye guys.